My name is Kai Salmi. I'm from Finland. I'm from Delete Group. I'm demolition director and I'm also the president of Finnish Demolition Association. Our company is some kind of full service environmental service provider. So we have three different business areas, like maybe the biggest one is demolition services, then almost as big is industrial cleaning, and then the smallest one is recycling services. I think this whole industry is going through many changes. It's all these environmental issues, they are getting more big, and I think there's a huge amount of demands coming from customers and from authorities, and somehow we have to meet these things and try to be as good as we promise to be. So it's like there's a huge amount of work so we can do, and I think most of the companies, they are happy with the situation that there's enough work for everybody, but how to do them in proper way and so good that all the environmental things are handled. So I think there's a huge amount of things to be solved. People are talking a lot about carbon footprint and these green things and demolition. Most of the people think that this is just taking these buildings down and bringing them somewhere, but there are so many steps that we have to make efficiently, so huge amount of development must have done. I think EDA handles it work very well, because we companies, we do our own work and we really don't have time to follow up all the legislative changes that are maybe coming next year or are just coming. So I think somebody has to do that, and somebody has to be some kind of gathering force for this whole industry, because we are companies that are fighting with each other, and somebody has to collect the knowledge and best practices and bring them to everybody. So I think this EDA is maybe the most important thing in whole of our industry. I think this report gives you, of course it's very interesting to see what happens in other countries, but also it gives you some kind of idea where this whole industry is going. I think that's about the same as I said about EDA earlier, that it's about sharing the information, sharing the best practices, but also the worst practices, and it's about how we can develop this whole system to be more efficient, and that's not something that there's not anything sick about that we are going to do together things, because that way we all are going to be a little bit better, and when we continue getting better, then someday we are maybe the best ones. I think it's about meet people that know something about our industry, and that way you can learn something or you can tell them something, and that's about the whole idea of associations and whole idea of meeting inside of one industry. I think that's sharing and networking, of course.